Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Yes, I hope you can hear me, see the screen properly. Yes, so in the morning class, we haven't completed the topic water pollution. So we'll be going with the chapter water pollution. That is the topic water pollution now. So in the morning class, we haven't completed the topic water pollution. Now is everything fine? Give me thumbs up on the screen if everything is going fine. Yes, I don't know how many of you are here in the class or those who are in the class, please give me hearts on the screen. Yes. Yes. So once again, I'll be just telling this is our last class for today, that is solid waste and radioactive waste we are going to discuss now. But before that, we have to go with the water pollution and a small part from the air pollution also we have to study. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave the comment in the public comment section after the session about your experience with BioPoint in this class. So without wasting any more time, we are moving on with water pollution. Yes, hope you all are there. Water pollution, we are going to begin right now on your screens. Okay. Domestic sewage and industrial effluence is the topic that we are going to discuss right now. Okay, domestic sewage and industrial effluent. About zero point 0.1 impurities, 0.1 percentage of impurities are there present in the water makes the domestic sewage. I hope this type of a question was there for your test paper in the morning. Yes, I hope this kind of a question was there. Amount of impurity. Yes. So the answer is 0.1 percentage of impurities in water makes the water unfit for human use. And what all are those that includes over there? It is a suspended solid particles such as sand, silt, clay, etc. Then certain colloidal materials like fecal matter, bacteria, cloth, paper, fibers, etc. Then dissolved materials like certain nutrients like nitrate, phosphate, ammonia, calcium, phosphate, sodium, etc. are present in the domestic sewage. Okay, so 0.1 percentage of the impurities are present in the domestic sewage that makes the water unfit for human consumption. Then there are different types of materials such as suspended solids, colloidal materials, and dissolved nutrients like ammonia, phosphate, nitrate, etc. Then those who have written NEET for 1 year, they might be knowing this very clearly how important the graphs of the last unit are. Yes. So, okay. So, domestic sewage, the removal of dissolved materials, organic compounds. So, we can suppose in a water, if in a water, a large rock or a sand particle, all these are present, it will be easy for us to remove or to separate between the two. But if there is a presence of dissolved materials, organic compounds, or toxic metal ions, it will be very difficult for us to remove such compounds. Am I right? Yes. Guys, please be active on the comment section. Then, domestic sewage contains biodegradable organic matter. What is biodegradable organic matter? That are degraded by microorganism. Okay, biodegradable means those ways that are degraded by microorganisms. The amount of biodegradable organic matter, very important statement, very important statement. The amount of biodegradable matter present in the sewage water is estimated by measuring the biological oxygen demand or BOD. 100 percentage direct MCQ from this part. 100 percentage direct MCQ. So guys, this graph is very important. Let me check whether it is there in the next one or not. No. Yes, guys, this graph is very important. You have to understand when the biological oxygen demand, when there is a high amount of organic compounds, when there is a high amount of organic compounds present in an area, what happens? That is sewage. In the sewage, you will have a high amount of organic matter, right? So in the sewage, at the time of sewage disposal, look, this is the time of sewage disposal. At the time of sewage disposal, what happens? The amount of biological oxygen demand is very high. The biological, the BOD value is very high. Sewage indicates what? The waste are released. So high BOD value indicates what? It is the most polluted region. So the value of BOD, I'm talking about the uses of value of BOD. So value of BOD just refers to the amount of pollution. So at the time or at the place of sewage discharge, the amount of BOD is very high. That is, the amount of dissolved oxygen will be very low because the microbial activity will be very high. Since BOD level is high, the microbial activity will also be very high, which will contribute to decrease in the level by the direction of flow. That is, as the time passes, what the BOD level gets lowered and the oxygen level gets higher, because these microbes digest almost all the sewage particle. That is, during the initial time when the concentration of toxic materials is high, the fish is killed and disappearance of clean water organisms are observed. As the amount of dissolved oxygen becomes higher, reappearance of clean water organisms takes place. I hope this is clear. Is it clear, Nila and Calvin? I don't know who all are there in the class. Okay. Yes. Next is the domestic sewage. Domestic sewage and industrial effluents. During biodegradation, yes, Rujana, very good, thank you. So during microorganism consume oxygen. It results in the sharp decline of dissolved oxygen. Okay. So guys, as if you observe this graph, check. If you observe this graph, what you can see, one second. Yes, if you observe this graph, at the time of sewage discharge, what you can see, the fishes and all other organisms are killed. Why? Because look, the level of dissolved oxygen is very low. Why? Because at the time of sewage discharge, the organic compounds present in the sewage will be very high. So as a result, biological oxygen demand will be very high. So the microbes will be present over there. So the microbes will actively undergo degradation of these organic matters. Okay, as a result, they use up the dissolved oxygen. That is why the peak of oxygen is very low, which leads to the disappearance of freshwater organism. But when it comes into reappearance of clean water organism, it's very clearly visible that the amount of dissolved oxygen will be high when the BOD level is low. So the value of BOD as well as the value of dissolved oxygen differs from each other. Fine, everyone? Yes. So biodegradation, the microbe consume a large amount of oxygen. It results in the sharp decline in the amount of oxygen. This causes the death of aquatic organisms. This causes the death of aquatic organisms. Yes? Guys, am I audible to everyone? Am I audible? Tell me. Then the presence of more nutrients in water causes the presence of more nutrients such as nitrates, NO3, then phosphate, PO4, 3 minus, phosphate. So all these presence of nutrients in water causes excessive growth of planktonic algae, which leads to the condition known as algal bloom. I hope you might have seen this condition. You might have seen this condition. Most probably, this is what is referred to as algal bloom. Okay, I hope you might have seen this or witnessed this type of a condition. In Kerala, there were certain issues of this algal blooms, and where you might have heard about the water hazard. Not now, some so many years back. Okay, in Trivandrum, what happened is that this water hyacinth just spread. Water hyacinth, you know, I hope. Water hyacinth just spread it upon a very deep lake. And what the children did was when they were playing, a ball just went over there and they just thought that it was a land place and that's why the plants are growing over there. They just stepped onto it, and what happened is that it causes a great drowning disaster over there. Okay, so that is one instinct over here which is caused due to the algal bloom. Algal bloom means it's just a covering. Due to the excessive growth of nutrients, it will cause algal blooms. It imparts a distinct green color to the water bodies and which deteriorates the natural quality, resulting in the death of the fishes. Some blooms are extremely toxic. Some of the algal blooms are extremely toxic because they releases certain toxins, or toxic substances which are harmful to both human beings, animals, etc. I hope this is clear about the algal bloom. This is all about the algal bloom. They may be asking what is the reason for algal bloom. Algal bloom is caused due to what? Due to the excessive presence of nitrates and phosphates, all the nutrients present in the soil. Suppose we are spraying all these nutrients in the agricultural field. When rain comes, what happens? It will go back into the nearby water bodies. Perfect. Take care. Domestic sea. Next, we are going to talk about water hyacinth. The scientific name is Icornia crassipus. Look, guys, this is what I told. This is not the incident that took place in Kerala. This is what I told. Okay, this water hyacinth is introduced. This water hyacinth is introduced in India. Introduced in India because of its beautiful flowers, the beautiful violet color flowers. That is why they were introduced in India. But guys, tell me the asexual mode of reproduction, the vegetative propagule of water hyacinth on the chat box. Anyone? We discussed in the chapter reproduction in organism about the asexual reproductive structure in water hyacinth. Yes. Anyone tell me the asexual reproductive structure of water hyacinth on the chat box fast? No one remembering? What is the asexual reproductive structure of water hyacinth or the vegetative propagule? No one? Oh my God. Absolutely very perfect, Nila. It is offset. So water hyacinth being a tremendous growth shown by the water hyacinth is because of its offset formation. Okay, so it is one of the most problematic aquatic weed which is referred to as the terror of Bengal. Yes, Shivani, offset. Guys, is the annotations clear? Is the annotations clear for everyone? My markings? Yes. So it is called the terror of Bengal and they reproduce asexually by the vegetative propagule known as offset. Okay. The sewage from the home and the hospitals contain pathogen that causes certain waterborne diseases like dysentery, typhoid, jaundice, cholera, etc. Then one of the most important thing that we have to study in underwater pollution is the biological magnification or biomagnification. Biomagnification. I'm using the mouse of the computer. Okay, I'm using the mouse. That's why actually my writings are going somewhere else. Okay, I'm writing something, and so if you have any doubt in the spellings, please ask me. Okay, so the industrial waste contain heavy toxic materials such as DDT, heavy metals such as mercury, cadmium, copper, lead, etc. Okay, you might have heard about the Bhopal gas tragedy, then Minamata disease caused due to the mercury, then blue baby syndrome due to the accommodation of cadmium, lead, all these things like organic, certain other organic compounds also leads to many different kinds of tremendous diseases. So next we are going to study about biological magnification or biomagnification. What is biomagnification? It is the accumulation of toxicants. What are the toxicants? Mercury. It may be mercury, DDT at successive tropic levels of a food chain. Those who are not aware about the food chain and all, we'll be discussing in the later chapters. In the biodiversity, ecosystem, etc., we'll be discussing about the different tropic level. Organisms cannot metabolize organisms. Why this is happening? Because the organism cannot metabolize or excrete the toxicant so that it is passed on to the next trophic level. Guys, this can be a previous year aims question, that is an assertion reason question. They have given you the definition for biological magnification, and the reason was organisms cannot metabolize or excrete the toxicant. That's a correct statement. That is why, or else if an organism gets died, that might be over, right? But what happens is that it gets accumulated. It cannot be metabolized in our body. Look, suppose the toxic substances over here, it is very low. Okay, very low. Okay, very low. In case of producers, when that comes into zooplanktons, zooplanktons means what? They are the small animal, small aquatic animals, you will call it as a zooplanktons. Then when it comes into small fishes, it again increases. When it comes into large fishes, it will tremendous increase. Then when it comes into fish eating birds, I hope most of you have written in today morning 25 ppm. Okay, it is 25 ppm is the answer for that. Okay, I hope you are getting my point. Yes, guys, this is a very important term. Biomagnification of DDT you have to study as per your syllabus. I hope I could change the pen. Yes, one second. Yes, biomagnification of DDT in an aquatic food chain is next topic that we have to discuss, and at least 25 times repeated MCQ for your NEET examination. Today morning session also you had the same, right? So water DDT at a concentration of 0.003 ppb. So when it is in the water, that is in case of producers, it is only 0.003 ppb, parts per billion. Then when that gets contaminated to zooplankton, it changed into 0.04 ppm. When it comes into small fish, 0.5 ppm, large fish 2 ppm, and birds 5 ppm. What do you mean by ppm? It is parts per million. ppm is parts per million, and parts per million is referred for the measuring the quantities of pollutants. Okay, so DDT, what is the consequence of DDT? It destroys the calcium metabolism. It destroys the calcium metabolism in birds, which causes the thinning of the eggshell and their premature breaking, which causes a decline in the entire bird population. Fine, everyone. I hope you are understanding each and everything. If you have any doubt regarding anything, please ask me. If you don't have doubts and you are clear up to here, please give me hearts on the screen. Please give me hearts on the screen if you are enjoying today's session right now. Fine, everyone? Yes. No one? Yes, Shalini, after a long time. How was your exams? Shalini, how did you do your exams? Was it easy? Yes. Yes, thank you everyone. Thank you Nilas, Rujan, everybody. So this is the effect of biological magnification. Next we have to discuss about Shalini, how was it the NEET examination? How did you do it? Was it easy for you? Next, we have to discuss about eutrophication. Next, we have to discuss about eutrophication. It is the natural aging of a lake. It is a natural aging of the lake by the nutrient enrichment. So, eutrophication is a natural aging of a lake by the nutrient enrichment. Okay. In a young lake, the water is cold and clear. With time, the streams drain into lake, introduce certain nutrients such as nitrates and phosphates. Okay, nitrates and what's your future plan? Are you going ahead with needs? Have you calculated your score? Yes, or going for next year's NEET or whatever. Tell yes. Okay, so nitrates and phosphates accumulation, which increases the lake's fertility, guys. When these nutrients get accumulated in the water body, what happens? Look at the condition, guys. If a particular area was like this before and after the accumulation of certain nutrients such as nitrogen and phosphorus, it will turn off to like this. Look at the tremendous condition happening, guys. Yes, so these plants and animals grow very rapidly and they will get deposited. They will get deposited above the soil, which leads to the death of the microorganism. No, not only the microorganism, death of the all other organisms, including fishes, animals, and birds living in the water. And which makes the root marsh area, it will turn up into a marshy area. Okay, so that is all about the eutrophication. So don't get confused by eutrophication and algal bloom. Eutrophication is a natural aging of a lake or a water body by a nutrient enrichment. But algal bloom is due to the accumulation of certain toxic substances inside the water bodies. So, depending on the climate, size of the lake, and other factors, eutrophication may span thousands of years. However, pollutants like effluents from the industries and homes accelerate eutrophication. So, simply if you talk about certain effluents, what we have to say, generally the effluents causes algal blooms and water pollution, everything. Okay, they generally causes everything like this, but the pollutants from industries and our home causes accelerated eutrophication. What? It causes accelerated eutrophication, that is known as cultural or accelerated eutrophication. The prime contaminants that are involved in the accelerated eutrophication is same, that is nitrates and phosphates. Nitrates and phosphates, guys, these two are the prime contaminants over here. Okay, that causes the accelerated eutrophication. They overstimulate the growth of algae. They overstimulate these nutrients, just overstimulate the growth of algae, which causes an unslightly scum above the water body and an unpleasant odor, and drop the dissolved oxygen from the water body, which leads to the death of the microorganism. Guys, are you understanding? Guys, are you understanding everything? Tell me the truth. I know I'm going a bit faster because all these things you have might have studied in your 10th standard. Yes? Tell me. Next is eutrophication itself, the thermal wastewater. The thermal wastewater, which is generated from electricity generating units such as thermal power plants, eliminates organisms sensitive to higher temperature because these industries are releasing a large amount of water with a very high temperature. That is, they will be releasing hot water in directly into the water body. Hot water directly into the water body without even any kind of physical treatment. As a result, these organisms which are insensitive, which are sensitive to low temperature, will get eliminated. It may enhance the growth of plants and fishes that is extremely cold condition, but only after causing damage to the indigenous flora and fauna. What do you mean by indigenous? That means the natural organisms, the natural flora and fauna. The natural flora and fauna, the indigenous species. Okay, it might lead this thermal pollution. This is referred to as thermal pollution. This is referred to as a kind of thermal pollution. Okay, this thermal pollution can also contribute to the growth of certain plants and fishes, but only after elimination of the natural variety. Only after elimination of the natural variety. Okay. So next is all about the integrated wastewater treatment. The integrated wastewater treatment. Integrated wastewater treatment includes artificial and natural process. Artificial and natural process. For example, you have to study the case study. This is the Akata Marsh Interpretive Center. Name the center. An example is the town of northern coast of California. There is a town named Akata. Okay, that is Akata Marsh Interpretive Center. The townspeople, that is the people of that particular town of California, that is from Akata, and the biologists from the Humboldt University created an integrated wastewater treatment process. You might be amazed to know. If you search into detail, if you go into detail about this, you will be able to know about good how good it was being over there, or how good they created the integrated wastewater process over there. Okay, let's move on with the further details of this. So the cleaning project of Akata includes two main stages. Okay, it includes two main stages. That is, the first one was sedimentation, filtering, and chlorine treatment. Sedimentation, filtering, and chlorine treatment. After this, remaining pollutants, like that is all the heavy substances like big stones, big chemicals, all these things that are observed with the help of a naked eye. All these things are removed by the stage number one. This first stage itself, we remove all those pollutant. But after the sedimentation, filtering, and chlorine treatment, certain dissolved heavy metals, dissolved impurities will be present over there. So next step, we will be moving on with the removal of the dissolved heavy metal. Okay, then what happened is that the biologists of the Humboldt University along with the townspeople of Akata Marsh, what did they did? They just developed a series of 6 connected marshes. They bought 60 hectares of marshland for the release of this water, wastewater. They bought 60 hectares of land, marshland, for the treatment. Then they had a series of 6 connected marshes. Look, okay, 6 connected marshes. And what did they do? This is the Akarta Marsh of Interpretive Center. Yes. Okay, guys, the green colored portion shown over here, it is the Akarta Marsh. Green colored portion. Okay, they created different things like this over there, and 60 hectares which were followed by 3 connected marshes. Then appropriate plants, algae, fungi, and bacteria which are required for the decomposition of these kinds of waste were also included over there. And what they did, they neutralize, absorb, and assimilate the pollutant. Thus, as the water flows through the marshes, it gets purified naturally. Shrujana, is it clear? Calvin, is it clear? Nila, is it clear? Shalini, are you here? Yes. Guys, tell me frankly, should I repeat it once again or not? Okay, thank you so much. Next one is the cleaning project of Akata. Marshes also constitute a sanctuary. Marshes also constitute a sanctuary with a high level of biodiversity in the form of fishes, animals, birds, etc. Then a particular group, yes, Shivani. Okay, you were also over here. Thank you so much. I hope you all are understanding. Yes, Shivani. Yes. So, certain group of people known as the Friends of Akata Marsh, which is referred to as in short form FOAM, Friends of Akata Marsh, Friends of Akata Marsh, which is FOAM, is a citizens group for the upkeep and safeguarding of this particular project of Akata Marsh water treatment, integrated wastewater treatment. Yes, I hope you're understanding, guys. I hope. Yes. Next one is the ecological sanitation. Sanitation is a familiar word for you now, right? Amidst this COVID pandemic, sanitation have become a familiar word for each one of you, right? Yes. So, ecological sanitation is a sustainable system which is used for handling of human excreta by converting it into dry composting toilets. You might have seen the governments just setting up eco sand toilets. Mostly you could see it in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and Sri Lanka borders. Kerala Tamil Nadu borders is very high. That is ecos and toilet. That is ecologically sanitized toilets. Okay, they are very common in borders of Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and Sri Lanka. So, what is the use of it? This is a practical, hygienic, efficient, and cost effective solution to human waste disposal. The human excreta can be recycled into a source of natural fertilizer, which reduces our humans' needs for what? Chemical fertilizers. Yes, the last topic regarding water pollution is that the government of India has passed the Water Control and Prevention Act in the year 1974 to safeguard the water resources. Yes, just think, guys, in the morning, in the evening, in the afternoon, how much amount of water we spend when we brush our teeth in the morning. We just open the tap and brushes the teeth. How much amount of water we are wasting? There are certain people who are not getting water at least for their needs to drink at least. We are using water for a plenty of purposes, right? So the Government of India Act of 1974, the Water Prevention and Control Act of 1974 is included for what? To safeguard the water resources. So thank you everybody. I'm just ending off with the session. Okay, in the next class we'll continue with today's this time topic. Yes, the 7 p.m. topic was about solid waste and radioactive waste, but the lecture number 3 I'll be taking it in the next class. Okay everyone. Okay, this I'll take in the next class. Look how much topics we have to complete. Starting from slide number 35, we have a plenty of topics. We have a plenty of topics in this chapter up to slide number 74. Yes? Yes. Thank you everybody for cooperating for such things. So tomorrow also you will be having regular classes just as we did today. Okay? So hope you all enjoyed the session. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe our wonderful channel. Okay? Hope you all understood. Just take out your NCRT now itself. Read the portions up to water pollution. And I wanted each one of you to read it today itself after your class. Okay? Fine, everyone? Yes. I don't want anybody to keep it for tomorrow because of any works today. Okay, Nila? Okay, Shivani? Okay, Calvin? Strujana? Okay? So don't keep it. I don't want anybody to keep it for the next day. Today itself, after this class itself, just take your NCRT. Just read it. And I'm giving you an assignment, guys. I'm giving you an assignment. Okay. Now you have to go after the class, you have to go and read your NCRT. there are a few topics which I have not included in the slide. So you have to take, this is a small project for you. There are certain points, certain important points which I have not discussed in the lecture. So what you have to do is just go take out your NCRT, just read the NCRT, and you have to comment me in the public comment section which all are the important points that I missed to take in the class. Yes? Okay. So I'll wait. I wanted to know who reads the text very first and tells me which topic I skipped in the class. Okay, this is a very lengthy chapter out of the last four chapters. This much slides is there for us to complete. Okay, so our wonderful schedule for the day is completely over. Yes, see you guys tomorrow. Let's see. Okay, guys, bye bye. Take care. Good night, everyone.